Fiji v England is what is up next. I'm Sean Maloney, alongside me for the call in this one, former England Sevens captain Rob Vickerman and former England Sevens coach, former Fijian Sevens coach Ben Ryan. Ben, good morning.
Morning. It's an early one, isn't it?
It is very early. We have the alarm set. We are good to go now. Run us through this team sheet. What can we expect from both these sides?
Well, look, Fiji, when they had the ball in attack, were imperious yesterday. You know, their movement off the ball and their late and early offloading was fantastic. But in defence, given sustained pressure, they were starting to edge towards higher penalty counts. And the worry will be with them, can they keep 7 players on the field in these quarterfinals and beyond? For England, they got out of jail, but it happens in sevens. You can have all manner of different ways to qualify into the quarterfinals, and as Sir Evie always say, you don't win tournaments on day one. So they're on the same pitch at the same level, and it's 0-0 at the start of this game, and England will want to control the ball and keep it for large periods of time.
Yeah, and you know full well that when the Fijians get in their spirit, when you see the faith shining through, it's always a difficult task. This will be one of the toughest assignments for this England team, marred by injuries across the board. But what game to get up for. You look at across, you see the Fijians, you're always going to be up for it.
Well, the last 5 years have proven a good hunting ground. The USA for Fiji, back-to-back, 2015 and 16 in Vegas, silver in 17, bronze in 18, and a chance now in LA to potentially return to the throne in the US. England are the defending champions here in LA. It's been a long time since we've been in this part of the USA for the Hsbc Sevens, and we are rolling. Fiji v England, our first cup quarter-final, and it'll sit up well here for Fiji, but we're coming back lost from the kickoff.
Well, what a first impact. You can see just how significant these little 50-50s are in the game of sevens. The Fijians not hanging around, but check out that standings. Not often you see England come into a game seated above Fiji. The Fijians have a big point to prove.
So it's Tom Mitchell who gets set to feed the scrum.
You can get wider. Set.
And it's Will Edwards in the pocket, swinging open now. Looking wide and finding Davis, in turn to Bowen. Bowen runs into the shoulders of Tui Mamba. He doesn't miss many front on. He gets all of Bowen on that occasion. Burgess for Mitchell. Side to side. Kerr was busy yesterday, backing his way into 3 Fijian defenders who look to hold him up. He'll try and get his knees to the ground, desperate to head south here. Kerr, the strength of Darren Olangi. And now it's ripped away by Tuivuaka. Great strength. England's counter work is good, but the penalty here going the way of the Fijians, going quick through Tuai, and we go back 8 centimetres to redo it. He goes again. Tuai, Darren Olangi across to the man who ripped that one away. Tuivuaka wide now from Bluffer, who was a standout in their gold medal win in Sydney. Darren Olangi shaping it back over to Bluffer, who has lost forward.
Well, first England's sustained attack really lacked any sort of movement, and if you want to wobble the Fijian defence, you have to give them some change up in direction and tempo. You can't just go coast to coast, particularly if you're leaving Dan Norton on the bench. So they're going to have to be a bit more creative in how they're going to adjust and make these Fijians work harder defensively.
What was Tom Bowen thinking? Has he not seen Tui Mamba's hits? He just ran into him. Where's your sidestep? That's a death wish.
Well, Tui Mamba laid out Gaston Revol of Argentina yesterday. It was such a big hit. It landed on SportsCenter over here in the US of A. You can find that tackle via all the World Rugby social media channels. Now it's Mitchell ghosting across the puck and threading it across the line to Bowen. Runs towards Tui Mamba, and again Tui Mamba gets him. Good carry though, and now it'll fall for Fiji, ripped away at the breakdown, and they go on the bounce out through Tui Mamba, who is doing all sorts of damage. Here's Tuivuaka, the hulking frame of Tuivuaka, standing in the tackle there, nearing the 22. Tuai going short and switching for Tui Mamba. Bluffer, Bakunumbili, leaping towards the line. Darren Olangi on his tail, held up from Bluffer. Tuivuaka, good return shot there from Davis, and now the penalty going the way of England. Good D here from the English.
Quite unlike Fiji, really, in that attack. There weren't the flowing offloads. They were turning up the power button there, and maybe that's their plan against England. But they need a bit of craft work, really, and get Jerry running across the side, the English line, to allow some movement and allow some of these offloads.
And it's a really interesting concept when teams are now playing England. They just try and beat them up, win that physical battle. But the USP for Fiji is always going to be that movement. And you can see here, Alex Davies is up for the charge. If you run at him, he'll make the hits. It's when you offload, it takes 4, 5, 6 defenders to try and stop it.
It's probably one of these games where he needs to need a score now, and I think it might start to break up after that.
Words there of former Fijian coach Ben Ryan, alongside him in the commentary box. Rob Vickman, I'm sure money. That one ripped away by Fiji. Blatha cutting them open, looking for support. Won't need it. He's done it again. Blatha, he is on fire on the circuit right now, and Fiji go up by 5.
Good work there by Fiji. Like, he just ran straight. Charlton Curl just went too high there, and if you're going high on a Fijian rover that's stepping off his right foot and accelerating through the gap, it's a see you later.
And more importantly, line-out steal. James Wadd will not be happy with that. Harris thrown up, David Lange gets a turnover, and then grade A attacking ball. Kerr's asking a question, what happened on the inside? But you got a one-on-one there. You got to make your hits. Blather's going to eat you up all day.
I mean, the good news for England fans, I guess, is that this is certainly still a contest. You know, we're coming up to only 2 minutes left of the first half. There's just one score in it. And if they can be a bit more patient and just allow themselves a bit more movement in attack, it could cause some concerns for Fiji. But with Fiji, if they start to hit their kickoffs and get up to the levels that they've got in previous tournaments and get their returns on this, then they're going to be very difficult to beat.
England yet to carry inside the Fijian half, and right on cue, Fiji go up and pull down the restart. Penalty advantage as well here for Fiji. Butitu looking to tap and go quick. Tua, Blatha, Darren Olangi out wide. Tuvuaka on the late switch and getting a chance to wind up those enormous legs.
Finish now.
Tua floating it across to Butitu. Tuimamba delays the switch and left behind there. Now with England. Kerr. One-handed delivery back over the top. Over to the young kid who helped put England in this matchup, getting away from a few. Harris needs support. Who's on hand to give him an assist? Now with Edwards, Burgess. Good quick recycle here for England. That'll enable Fiji to reset the line. That bounce pass, and it might work out though as Kerr gets it away from Mitchell. Edwards with numbers. Can't get it around the corner. Harris was screaming for it. Penalty England. Here they go quick. They probe through Hendy. Drilled. Penalty advantage. Burgess. There's room inside there for Burgess. Taking a couple with him. Mitchell gets his shoulders in and helps secure. Will come back for the penalty. England down a man. I think it's Kerr getting some attention in the backfield, and they might just take a beat here, the English.
Better work here from England. You know, they kept hold of the ball. Harris made a lovely break, didn't he? He's a powerful kid going down the sideline. But if they'd just looked up, Fiji had totally got out of shape. They were pretty lazy on the far side. And if they'd reversed it hard, they would have walked in a try. And for Fiji, they've got to keep their defensive shape, and they've got to stop giving away penalties. Momentum shift here already in this game because of that.
That's the crux of it again there, the discipline we saw there in the ticker. How many penalties have now been given away by the Fijians? And when the pressure comes on, that's often when the discretions happen, but missed tackles are plenty from both teams, showing that the attack is all about dominating this game. Pass has been building, very equal game on that facet, but ultimately, real first time England have been anywhere near Fijian try line.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of breakdowns and rucks for Fiji, which again, you just don't see. I think I'm sure Gareth is watching what we were watching at half-time. We just asked them to adjust that, free themselves up a little bit, play to the wider edges and start to offload. But for England here, a real opportunity off set piece. If they can also get Tom Mitchell perhaps travelling across this Fijian defence before he drops someone in or changes direction, they could be in here.
Here we go, England. Great field position. Now Bowen swings wide. Edwards, Johnson onto the park. The skip pass across to Bowen. The first up tackle is a miss, and Bowen launches towards the line.
Time off.
We need sign-off on this one. It looked really good live, and we should have a 7-5 scoreline.
It's better to check it.
I don't think he got it down. I think it's incredible.
I think it's better to check.
What an effort in defence. First and foremost, goes for the read
try yes or no, please.
on Bowen.
Okay, we'll check for trial.
Tuimama didn't get it.
What game are you watching, Rob Vickham?
The way he threw him there, it was incredible.
It's a try though, Rob. Good work. There's a great defensive tackle there, but Tom Bowen really has done incredibly well to get this down. I think, well, so all three of us, we're in agreement, aren't we?
Ben Ryan, you and I are. Rob Vickham.
Well, watching it live, I thought he threw him. It was incredible.
I have a decision.
Yeah.
You may award for try.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy.
Jeremy Rosier gets the nod, and it is 7-5 kick to come. It's half-time. The siren has gone. Tom Mitchell now with a chance to level it up. We can't get you any closer to Mitchell's tail. He sends it on its way, looking to draw it back. Mitchell, it's short. And at the break, the difference stays 2. Fiji narrowly in front.
We keep fighting. Yeah?
Likewise. Fucking underscore, race to anchor. Defence is talking up a big way. Boys, when we're talking about attitude, talking about working on, terms of goal running, how hard we're working like that. The benefits that late in the game. And there's 7 minutes now. Right? This is when it comes in. Here we fucking go, boys.
7 minutes in the rearview mirror in our first Cup quarter-final here at the HSBC USA Sevens. And it's Fiji who are up by 2. First half went by in a blink. That's what's coming up in just a moment. Australia v Ireland. We'll have Brian O'Driscoll in the box to help us get through that one. Right now we've got former England and Fijian coach Ben Ryan alongside former England Sevens captain Rob Vickham, and I'm Sean Maloney. Bullabanaka to those of you watching down on the islands in Fiji. Good evening to those of you catching us via Sky Sports UK up north. It has been a thrilling contest thus far. Tom Mitchell with the restart, looking for Johnson. Darren Alungi up and getting into the backfield, looking for some support runners, finding it now with Bulafa, cuts away to Tuimama. Tuimama bouncing back in field, 10 out now Fiji. Bulafa looking across now to Bakarun and Billy, Northern Athangi, Butitu across the line, and the try is going to Jerry Tuai.
Great work there from Fiji. It was a poor kick-off by Tom Mitchell, and unfortunately for England that landed in the hands of Darren Alungi, who's one of the best in the business, and off he went down the field. They recycled to the right, and then it went into the captain's hands, and it's Mothe Cho and Jerry Tuai is off to score some points. Great work by Fiji, and for England, you know, the restart, that's really where it all came from.
You don't think tactically, you spend half time talking about the finer things, what you're going to do, what's the next action. You restart kicking it to the most dangerous man in the air in the game of sevens. Darren Alungi mop that up all day. They're going to have to think of different tactics, but now have lost the ability to control the game from the restart.
One of the easier tries that Jerry Tuai will score, and that your signature pressure play. Superb execution from the Fijians, and now it's Darren Lungi going to work on the chase. Knocked back by Harris. Mitchell's there. Trying to spin his way past the defence. Penalty England.
He released the ball, you never release him. You need to release him when he's tackled.
Again, a chance now for England just to try and breathe a bit. They love their set plays. You see some pretty impressive scoring feats on the left-hand side. And England's go-to, if they have any type of inertia in games, is from the things like line-out, the set-piece plays. Mitchell, the curator.
There's a pretty good argument, though, when you've got 2 scores down and 5 minutes to go, that you push the tempo a bit, try and force more penalties or yellow cards and get Fiji in a position where they've got 6 men. And then they can start to apply this pressure. But Fiji do look in control here, and they're putting a fair amount of pressure on their set piece there. Mathangi is mirroring Ellery quite well here. And you know, this is not by all means a set piece that England are going to dominate in this game.
Ellery bang on the 5-metre line. It's overthrown and will fall though for England, will it? Not straight's the call there against England.
Not straight, option.
I'm more of a kind of coach that would like to just play there. When you know you've got free ball and penalty, and Fiji are going backwards, get some tempo back into the game and start to spread people. When you're slowing things down and going set piece that you're not necessarily going to win, the clock's not in your favour, you're 2 scores down, it doesn't make a whole deal of sense.
No, it goes back to the logic, if you try and beat Fiji, you try and think of structure, and certainly James Rodwell on the sideline would always go to the line-out as his preference. But exactly right, try and beat Fiji by playing like Fiji, that's how often you have success against them.
Crouch.
Okay, so Nanduva joins the party out wide. Alessio Nanduva, Tumumba comes from the park. Batutu midfield. Nathungu sweeping around, taking it from Tuai out in front for Batutu. Nathungu buying a moment now, Jerry. Tuai losing that one forward, and that might just be the first mistake all year made by Tuai. Now it compounds as he refuses to let it go, and Tom Mitchell comes in.
Again, there's an argument here. They must have a tactic on wanting to slow things down, but you're just watching these 3 Fijian guys that are coming into the scrum. They're not small, and they're not giving particularly clean ball here. So England might have to have a look at their tactics here if they want to pick up the tempo here with 2 scores and 3.5 minutes to go.
Look at the size difference of the scrum. Well, it used to be formidable hitting a Fijian scrum. Often not as hard as you think it's going to be, but they're big humans.
Mitchell lays it in. And now England working away through Johnson. Johnson hooks it back in field, and it will fall for Vakrunambili. Broken field footy coming here for Fiji. Nathungu, he loves it when it's loose.
I think I'm going to call this his try time.
Okay, Ben Ryan. Tabu gets in the backfield. Tambu, try Fiji. They've taken it 90, and that might be enough to see them through to the Cup semi-final.
We've seen that picture so many times, haven't we, where there's broken ball, Fiji are 90 metres from their line, but it's 1 or 2 passes, it's an offload, a change of direction, and it's gone. And that's game over. Fiji haven't actually had to play that well in this quarter-final to move themselves into the semi, so they'll be relieved, and everyone's fit and healthy. And for England, you know, I thought they've shown some good parts of play there, but perhaps they've just tactically got this one wrong.
I think they have. You've got to feel for Alfie Johnson. Under 19 comes into this, throws a speculative offload, doesn't go to hand, and now look.
What about the fearless prediction from Ben Ryan? I think this might be a try. 6'2", 100-kilo weapon with 50 metres of open real estate in front of him.
60
Thank you very much for your insight, Mr. Gold Medal winning coach.
It's supposed to be nice. Baylor Manny, Sean.
Ben Ryan watching on as Ellery tries to get away. It's a desperate ankle tap that prevents him. It came from Akanakonda, and now with Fiji again.
I'm not saying anything.
Vakrunambili for Akanakonda, back to Vakrunambili. Nanduva infield won't be required. And it's another 5-pointer this time round for Vakrunambili.
That's what we like to see. That was glorious. Some really nice movement. There's not many sights better in World Sevens rugby to see a striding Fijian forward with one hand on the ball and just going towards the opposition line. That's great. And now they have put a decent scoreline together, and that will bounce them into the semi-finals.
Oh, you got to feel for Alfred Johnson there. Second action in this game. His boot fell off. He was left stuck in the mud.
Well, no surprise there that Fiji are well clear in terms of the series offloads, and the reason France are number 2 is thanks largely to a Fijian-born player as well in the form of Davida Verandamu.
Thought you were going to mention the coach there. New consultant coming in, getting the offloading game going.
Absolutely nothing to do with me.
Okay, England now looking for a consolation try late. Try and lift their spirits. That one is loose out the back from Johnson. He also wears that massive shoulder of Servu more than a thungy.
On me.
So Ben Ryan, we'll see you next week up in Vancouver, and you'll be sidelined
off.
with France.
Yeah, I think I'll be slipping on some outerwear with a cockerel on,
With some what?
A cockerel on.
What's a cockerel on?
Well, it's the French
We see on the
badge.
mark, please.
Of course.
White,
Of
yeah, no,
course.
we wait, but
Sorry, I'm not
we can be aligned.
au fait when it comes to
Pas de
speaking
problème,
French.
Sean.
Wait.
So I'll be doing a little bit of that and hanging out with the team on Thursday and Friday. I'm excited because, you know, they're a great team, and it'd be nice to be involved in the tournament game.
So one last chance here for Fiji if they wanted to deliver another try for their fans here, who are growing very quickly in LA.
Take it now.
The game's theirs, and they've had enough. To touch it goes, and in the end the margin is a big one in favour of Fiji. They are off to the Cup semi-finals.